I've been playing the Battlefield 6 beta, and overall I enjoy it. Now, I'm not very good at the game, but there are moments where I felt I did pretty good, so that's something. What I want to talk about first is this weird war going on between Call of Duty and Battlefield, and more importantly, what I believe to be the real problem after that. Anyway, I thought this war was over a long time ago. I entered several games in the beta, and people immediately jumped to conclusions on other players, including myself. I'm called a COD player left and right on here. If you mess up once or do something dumb in the game, you're immediately called a COD player. A lot of these Battlefield fans blame everything on Call of Duty. They're like Timmy Turner's dad, where whatever goes wrong in his life, he blames it on the Dinkelbergs. To any of these players, you have to realize that this is an open beta. Everyone has access to it. There are going to be players that don't really play many shooters, including myself. Maybe a lot of the issues you're finding with your dumb teammates are likely just a simple case of them not being good or not knowing the game very well. That's it. I'm that player. And I apologize, but I'm just not that great at the game. With all that said, on the contrary, the Battlefield players saying this aren't doing so without good reason. And maybe it's better to be paranoid about every bad player in the game being just a COD player. There definitely is a certain group of people that are attempting to ruin the game for people. More particularly, I believe streamers could be the issue on how this game develops over time. There are streamers saying it needs to have a battle pass or kill streaks or something to work toward, whatever that means. There's already attachments to work toward, so I'm kind of confused at that statement. They've already done Battlefield with kill streaks. It's called Medal of Honor. It didn't do so well. I enjoyed it personally, more so than Battlefield. When DICE was making that multiplayer, the fundamental mechanics were Battlefield, but the addition of the COD stuff, that deterred some people. Basically the Battlefield people, and then that game didn't last very long. You might have already heard that streamers are ruining gaming. This is a common sentiment coming from a lot more people nowadays, and generally speaking, they're not wrong. Streamers are the people that get invited to the events, they're the ones that have their opinions considered more than people that actually like the series. They have more of a say in what goes or doesn't go, and oftentimes they give their opinion without much care for what would actually be good for the game. Not every streamer is like this. I know some people are going to hate me for this, but Asmongold has a ton of good gaming takes that I agree with, especially on Souls games. Okay, you can hate me for that, but I agree a lot with him on Souls games. But then there are a lot of streamers out there that are all about one particular game, or they're competitive in a very specific way. So much so that it blinds them from seeing any other point of view. It's about me, me, me. Face Swag says, why do Battlefield players have to gatekeep? Gatekeeping. This is one buzzword I am really tired of hearing because it gets thrown around so much without really thinking about it. I'm going to say something that, for some reason, is crazy to say. But gatekeeping isn't necessarily a bad thing. People need to quit using this term as a pejorative. Gatekeeping keeps games what they are. My favorite franchise of all time became ruined because it started to cater more toward an entirely different fan base. That fan base being none other than Call of Duty. My favorite franchise hasn't seen another entry in over 12 years, and the last two entries were designed for the Call of Duty crowd. Call of Duty players played it once, and then they went right back to Call of Duty. And then the franchise died because the original fan base didn't like how much it changed. If Battlefield does this, the same thing will happen. And then you have some streamers saying it needs a battle royale because it will make the game popular. This to me translates to, I'm good at battle royale gives me clips, and clips give me clout, and clout gives me more money. While I personally think Battlefield would do Battle Royale better than COD, if the fanbase doesn't want it, then don't do it. A lot of the Battlefield fanbase argues that they don't want Battle Royale because it would steal most of the resources that could be used on improving the team-based multiplayer. And if we look at what happened to Call of Duty, a game that had its multiplayer completely neglected because of Battle Royale, it isn't really crazy to expect this. Gatekeeping isn't as bad as the people commonly using the term make it out to be. But if we want to use gatekeeping as something bad, let's take a step back for a minute. You tell me who's gatekeeping. The people that like the game for what it is and want it to naturally grow its fan base, or the people who want the game to drop everything and cater to their incompatible wants and needs. Things that have absolutely no business being in the game. I want Battlefield to have kill streaks because I like that Call of Duty has kill streaks, because now that I've entered someone else's house, they need to cater to me because it's all about me, me, me. You see why this doesn't work so well and why people like Face Swag or Tim the Tatman would get backlash? They're entering into territory that isn't theirs and demanding it now cater to what they would like, which would greatly change what the actual fans love about it in the first place. Battlefield doesn't need to be like Call of Duty. Call of Duty is already weird enough these days. We currently have a game that takes place in 1991. But when you go to play it, it doesn't take long before you see Grimace loading his weapon with cheeseburgers so he can shoot them at freaking Gumby with an LMG. If people want Call of Duty, you have Call of Duty. Go play Call of Duty. It's that simple. We don't need other franchises being destroyed. And this is coming from somebody who isn't that big on Battlefield. I played the Battlefield 6 beta, as I already said. I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy the game to a level that makes me want to go out and immediately purchase it. I probably will not buy Battlefield 6, and that's fine. The game isn't for me. I don't hate it. There's nothing wrong with saying that. What I'm not doing is saying that there should be a Spies vs. Mercs mode because I love Splinter Cell so much. Because then that would be me, an outsider, telling other people what they should do with their game. It's as simple as that. Let games be purely themselves. If you don't like it, don't play it. It's really that simple. If Battlefield fans are happy with Battlefield, why on earth would you change it to appeal to people that don't like the game? Anyway, those are my thoughts. Goodbye.